Namaste everyone, this is Sandeep and welcome to my channel Only Study by Sandeep Dhiman. In our last video we had discussed about Rashtrakutas, Palas and Pratiharas. In this video we'll discuss Rajputas and the administration of Rashtrakutas, Palas, Pratiharas and Rajputas. Let's start. So first of all, here around 9th century what happened, the whole India became a patchwork of small kingdoms because the power of Rashtrakutas, Palas and Pratiharas ended almost simultaneously. During 10th century, three important developments took place. The first one was that India came into close contact with Western and Central Asia. Second thing was most of the kingdoms came under the rule of Rajputas, and Rajputas were constantly busy in wars with one another. And the third one was that these wars created political instability. Okay, and this political instability invited Turkish invaders to North India. Okay, then after, if we talk about Rajputas, then they played an important role in medieval India, and they were famous for their bravery. If we talk about their origin, then there is no clarity. Rajput means the son of Raja or king. Okay, but all Rajputs do not belong to royal families. Many Rajput families traced their origin to sun or moon and known as Suryavanshi or Chandravanshi. And some historians believe that Rajputs are descendants of foreign tribes who had settled in India, and some historians also believe that main four clans of Rajputs were born from fire altars and known as Agnikulas. Okay, and these four clans were Parmaras, Pratiharas, Chauhans, and Chalukyas. And there were 36 clans of Rajputs. And if we talk about these four Agnikulas, then Parmaras, they belong to Malwa, Pratiharas were from Rajasthan and Gujarat, Chauhans were from Ajmer, and Chalukyas from Gujarat. Among 36 clans of Rajputs, Chauhan dynasty enjoys a special place of prestige. Chauhan dynasty ruled over Gujarat and parts of Rajasthan. Prithviraj Chauhan was most powerful king. He came to throne in 1177. He made many conquests. He defeated Muhammad Ghori of Gaur, Afghanistan, in the battlefield of Tarain, which is near Bathinda. And Prithviraj Chauhan remains a hero of many folk tales of India. Chandvardai composed an epic, Prithviraj Rajso, on him, which narrates his bravery and heroism. Okay, if we talk about Tarain, Battle of Tarain, there were two battles. First one in 1191, second in 1192. In first one, Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Muhammad Ghori, and in second battle, Muhammad Ghori defeated and killed Prithviraj Chauhan. Okay, now here Jaychand was the king of Kannauj. He held a swayamvar of his daughter Sanyukta, and he did not invited Prithviraj Chauhan, and for insulting Prithviraj Chauhan, he placed a statue of Prithviraj in position of doorkeeper in the court to insult him. And then after, Sanyukta rejected all the princes assembled there and placed the garland around the neck of statue. And then after, Prithviraj Chauhan, who was hiding there, he sprung and rode away the princess with the princess. Okay. Then after, here, the struggle for supremacy and constant infighting created disunity and enmity among the Rajputs that attracted Muslim invaders, and Rajputs failed to join hands with each other to defend India from Arab invasions. Okay, now we will discuss the governance in North India during that time. If we talk about administration, king was all powerful. He was assisted by different officials. The empire was divided into provinces. The king was head of military and judiciary. The king spent huge amount of money on building up strong armies. If we talk about economy, there was great economic disparity. The royal families, high officials, and traders were prosperous. People living in villages were poor. The temples were the centers of rich and hence attracted a lot of invaders. Feudal system was prevalent in North India. The king granted land as reward to the officers. They were known as Thakurs or Rais, and they provided military assistance to the king at the time of wars. Feudal system led to the decline of many empires as the feudal lords gave only small amount of land reverted to the king. That weakened the power of king, and many feudal lords like Chauhans and Pramaras became so powerful and established their independent empires. If we talk about the societies, the rigid caste system led to the division of Indian society. The king, the feudal lords, and Brahmins were in high position. They enjoyed a life of luxury. Land was mainly cultivated by Sudras, who were overburdened by taxes and social discrimination. The condition of women was also miserable. They were deprived of education. The evil practices of sati, child marriage, polygamy contributed to the decline in the status of women. Look here, the women of royal families committed jauhar. What was jauhar? Means immolating in the fire to protect the honor if their menfolk were defeated or killed in the battle. Next, we have religion. Rajputs worshipped God Shiva and Vishnu. They also worshipped goddess Kali, Lakshmi, and Durga. And Rajput kings gave gifts to Brahmins, land gifts to Brahmins as Brahmadaya and Aghara. Okay, so they were Brahmadaya and Aghara were land gifts to the Brahmins. And Hinduism became popular than Buddhism. Many Buddhists took shelter in Southeast Asia when Turks attacked monasteries at Nalanda. And during this period, the Bhakti saints preached devotions to God and opposed social discrimination, superstitions, and narrow-mindedness. Next, we have education. If we talk about the education, superstition and narrow-mindedness were great hurdle in education. Elementary education was limited to temples and monasteries. Nalanda and Vikramshila universities, which were located in Bihar, became important centers of higher education. Where are Nalanda and Vikramshila University? In Bihar. The study of philosophy and religion, they were encouraged, and mathematics and science, they were ignored. If we talk about the regional languages, Marathi, Gujarati, and Bengali, they were developed because Bhakti saints preached and composed songs in these languages. Sanskrit enjoyed a place of prominence. Pali and Prakrit languages were used for writing books on Buddhism and Jainism. Next is art and architecture. So, fine examples of paintings of North India can be found in the form of murals in palaces, caves, and temples. Jain monks and painters of Bengal developed the art of miniature. Okay, who developed art of miniature painting? Jain monks and painters of Bengal. What is miniature? Small pictures drawn to illustrate books. Next is the Lingaraj and Mukteshwar temples at Bhubaneswar. There is Lingaraj and Mukteshwar temple. They are at Bhubaneswar. Then after the Sun temple at Karnak. Where is Karnak's Sun temple, or where is Sun temple? Sun temple is in Karnak. Where is Karnak? It is in Odisha. Okay, so these are the fine examples of architecture of the period from 8th to 12th century. Next we have trade. If we talk about the trade, India developed trade relations with the countries of East, Southeast, West, Central Asia, and European countries. This brought Indians into close contact with the developments of these countries. The common features in political, social, and cultural life in different parts brought the people of India closer, and later on this proved to be a great boon for the Afghans, Turkish, and Mughal rulers to establish their rule in India. Look here, do you know the world famous Khajuraho temple complex was built by Chandelas, the rulers of Bundelkhand, who were earlier the feudatories of Pratiharas, and these temples are located decorated with beautiful sculptures. Okay, so Khajuraho temple is the temple of Kandriya Mahadev. Okay, let's solve the exercise now. Part A. Who was the author of Kaviragamarga? So it was Amogvarsa. Option C is the right answer. Next is Vikramshil Vihar, a center for Buddhist education, was established by. So it was established by Dharampala. Next is the Sun Temple, known for its fine architecture, is situated at. Sun Temple is in Konark. D. Next is who among the following kings was elected by the people? It was Gopala. Next is which one of the following temples was not constructed by the Pratiharas? Thanjavur, yes. Khajuraho, yes. Konark, yes. Mahabalipuram, D. Okay. Next we have fill in the blanks. Number one is regional languages developed very fast under the rule of blank a Pratihara king. It was King Mihir Bhoj. Okay, King Mihir Bhoj. Next is who was the real founder of Rashtrakuta Empire? It was Danti Durga. Okay, Danti Durga. Next is the gift of land to the Brahmins was known as Brahmadeya or Aghara. Okay, Brahmadeya or Aghara. Okay, note it from your notebook. Book. Next is the Bhakti saints opposed blank and blank. They opposed superstitions, discrimination, narrow-mindedness. Any two you can write here. Okay, so discriminations, superstitions, narrow-mindedness. Any two you can write. Next is the example of painting of North India can be found in the form of murals. Murals. Okay, murals on caves, palaces, temples, etc. Next we have part C. Write true or false for the following statements. The king of Pratiharas and Palas rose in North India. It is false. Palas were in east and Pratiharas were in west. Next is Govinda III was a Rashtrakuta ruler. It is true. He was a Rashtrakuta ruler. Next is the tripartite struggle involved the Rashtrakutas, the Pratiharas and Palas. True. Next is the four main clans of Rajputas are known as Agnikulas. This is also true. Muhammad Qori came from Iran. This is false. He came from Afghanistan. So this is all for the day. In the next video we'll discuss these questions also. So till then, stay connected, like and share the video, and ask your friends to subscribe the channel. Thank you.